you. So the Maslow's hierarchy of needs is a classification of the things that people actually need based on their core motivations. And in the hierarchy, there are 5 core things that everybody needs. Number 1, we all have physiological needs. What's a physiological need? This is a need for you to survive in the world. So your food, water, shelter, clothes, physiological needs. The second layer of needs are safety needs. We all need to feel safe. And this is a motivation. This is why people will rent houses in high-brow areas, because they feel they want to be safe. This is why people will not, hardly anyone's going to fly a plane with a new pilot, because we have safety needs, right? The third level of needs is love and belonging. We all want to feel loved. We all want to feel we belong to something. We all want to feel like there's something bigger than just me. The fourth level is esteem. We want to feel self-esteem, want to feel self-respect, but we also want to feel respected by other people. Just imagine you're like on the bus or on a plane and someone says something disrespectful to you. Why does that hurt you so much? It's because you have a need to be esteemed. And on the last level, the fifth level, we have a need for self-actualization. Self-actualization is bigger than you. It's doing something to leave a legacy, doing something that is more than just getting a quick win. Self-actualization is fulfilling purpose. And a lot of things are self-actualization things. And one of the mistakes that people make is people tend to only want to sell in a particular way. So you have people who come, especially when you're not a business coach, you're a spiritual coach. Most of the time, what people tell you to do is they'll tell you, why don't you sell this way? And then people start saying like, I'm going to show you how to align and, align an abundance and receive and blah, blah, blah. And all the things don't just make sense because they're all self-actualization things. And most people are not in the self-actualization phase. And so one of the things I want you to recognize is that this is a pyramid. So at the bottom line, there are more people in physiological needs than self-actualization. And so for each level, we're going to be selling slightly differently. And so I'm going to show you how to take the same offer and sell it in 5 different ways. So let me use an example. Let's say the offer we want to sell is my Story Selling Sprints. Please use your own offer. I will use mine first, and I'll use another example. Let's say my offer is Story Selling Sprints, which is a 30-day program that teaches you how to sell with your stories. If I want to sell this in 5 different ways, the first level will be physiological. To sell to physiological, it means we're looking at survival. And every offer that you position to only sell to physiological needs is something called a survival offer. This is an offer that helps people get a quick win. In this idea, the idea behind a physiological offer, a survival offer, is that someone is in a ditch and you want to get them out of a ditch. Someone who is in a ditch, who needs a rope, is not thinking of how to change the world. They just want to get out of the ditch so that they are safe. So if I want to sell my Story Selling Sprints as a survival offer, I'm going to start saying things like, hey, if your business is going under, if you're struggling with your business, if things are not working out the way you want, if you think like you have like only 30 days before, you have to close down the business and look for a job, then you want to join my Story Selling Sprint. And I will start using words like it's a quick win, it's a quick fix, it's rapid, it's fast action, it's a sprint, it's this, it's this. The main thing is because if someone is in survival mode, and they want to buy a survival offer, they need to make sure it's something that is quick. If you have only 30 days to make your business work, you're not buying a 12-month program. You're buying a program that will help you get your business started in at least 30 days. And so this is what I want you to think about. How am I positioning my offer to talk to people who are in survival mode? And if you don't want to talk to people who are in survival mode, no problem. We have 4 other ways to talk about your offer. The second way is safety. Now, everybody here knows what safety means. And if you don't, well, it just means being safe. And being safe means the absence of danger, uncertainty. So when we want to position an offer as a safety offer, what we're just going to do is we're going to be adding certainty into the offer. And what we mean is instead of it being unpredictable, we're going to make it predictable. So if, for example, I want to sell Story Selling Sprints as a safety offer, which it also is, I could easily say like, hey, every single day for 30 days, you're going to get a prompt, you're going to have an example, and I'm going to show you how to tell stories consistently. And this will allow you to have a predictable way of selling your offer. So when we start using words like consistent, predictable, step by step, guaranteed, those kind of words evoke safety. So if you're creating an offer and you realize that you don't want to sell to people who are in survival mode, who need a result now or they're not going to buy, the second level, which I think most offers should fall into, is when you start talking about certainty, which is safety. You want to say stuff like step by step, this is guaranteed, this is predictable, this is tried and trusted. Other people have used it and you've gotten results. And that's how you're going to evoke and put safety into your offer. So if you have an offer now that is not selling as much, maybe you don't have some safety put into your offer. Maybe you're not selling the safety angle, and I think it's something you should consider. The third angle is love and belonging. We all want to feel like we're part of something. And in that level, we're looking at things like identity offers. Your offer has to give people an identity. The more your offer gives people an identity, the easier it is for people to buy. And the more expensive your offer is, the more it should evoke or add an identity. So the question about it is, what's the primary motivation you're really looking at targeting? Because if it's love and belonging, identity offers are going to help you scale through. So some words that we do in identity offers are things like community. You join a team of people. We're all supporting you. You're going to feel supported all through. We're going to hold you by the hand. All those things show that this is identity. This is who I am, and I now belong to this thing. And this thing I belong to is bigger than me. So, for example, if I want to sell Story Selling Sprints as an identity offer, I'm going to talk about the fact that we have a community. By the time you're done, you're going to become a master at storytelling, a master at persuasion, a master influencer, and a master salesperson. I could talk about you becoming a master at all those skills, and just saying that not only do you become a master, but you also join a team of other people who are also doing the same thing so you can run faster. What does that do? Number one, it helps your identity, but number two, which is more important, is it gives you that love and belonging that we all want. So I want you to think about it. My offer. How can I evoke love and belonging into my offer? How can I engineer it? Do I need to add a community? Do I need to add some extra support? Do I want to give a new identity? For example, I like using Russell Brunson. The identity of funnel hacker made ClickFunnels move from a survival offer to an identity offer, where it's like, once I start using ClickFunnels, I'm not just, someone hustling trying to make the next 1K. I am now part of a team, a part of a group of people who are called funnel hackers. Now, the fourth level, the fourth layer is esteem. People want to feel respected. People want to feel recognized. People want to feel seen. And this right now, especially now in this Instagram new world where everyone is trying to be everything apart from themselves, the more you can see people, the more they actually see you back. And so for esteem, we have things I like to call esteem offers. In what way is your offer recognizing people and making it obvious that they are special? Because everyone wants to feel special. And I feel like the higher the price of your offer, the more you should engineer esteem in it. And I'll give you an example of what ClickFunnels did for that. For esteem, what do? They started a 2 Comma Club award. If you've made up to $1 million through a ClickFunnels account, you're going to get recognized. That is an esteem thing. So how do we put this in an offer? You could easily just give people like a bonus. You could easily give people a gift back for being people who do something in your programs. So let's say you are a dating coach and you could say like, hey, everyone who gets married becomes like married, you give them a title. And this just allows people to be recognized in your stuff. So for example, let me use my example again. Story Selling Sprints. How do I engineer esteem into Story Selling Sprints? Well, every single time you tell a great story, I'm going to feature you on my page. I'm going to talk about your story. I'm going to make a big blast and recognize you. Why is this important? Because it helps your self-esteem. Not only your self-esteem, it helps you see that you're not only recognized by yourself, but by other people around you. And once you add esteem to your offers, it just literally blows up your offer. And now the fifth thing is self-actualization. Self-actualization offers are literally the hardest offers. If your offer's main motivation is self-actualization, it's going to be literally harder for you to sell than other ones, because most times self-actualization is not necessarily a need until people have fulfilled the other needs. So if someone is hungry and they're starving, they've not eaten in 7 days, they're not thinking about changing the world. They're not thinking about legacy. They just want to eat. Same thing if someone is, they're living in a neighborhood and there are no gates and there's nothing, and every day they're afraid that someone's going to shoot them. They're not thinking about changing the world. They're thinking about moving to a more safe neighborhood. Same thing if someone feels disrespected, no one sees them, they're also not thinking of changing the world. So most times when people get self-actualization offers, it means they have actually satisfied the other needs. So if you are selling something and the main motivation is actualization and it's not selling, well, you know what to do. Just add another motivation. So how do we add actualization to an offer like Story Selling Sprints? Well, what we want to do is we want to talk about how the stories you tell will actually start a legacy. I will start talking about how when you start telling more stories, it's going to, over the long run, make people start to recognize you, see you, and more than that, it's going to change the way people perceive themselves because they're seeing things through your own lens and through your own perspective. I could also talk about the fact that every single time you tell a great story, you're inspiring someone else to actually tell their own story, which is very true, which reminds me of a story. When I was growing up, my mom used to always watch Oprah. And every single time she watched Oprah, it just made me feel like that was the only black woman who was like on TV and was really, really, really successful. And every single time I watched Oprah, I used to say like, I want to be like Oprah. And I feel like a lot of people had that. Now, Oprah was obviously not thinking, I want a girl in Africa to be like me. No, she was thinking that she was just doing her thing. And in doing her thing, she was leaving a legacy. In doing her thing, she was inspiring other people to start TV shows. She was inspiring other people to do the things they wanted to do. And that's literally what you do when you do story selling sprints. By telling your stories, you actually inspire other people to tell their stories. You inspire other people to take action. You inspire other people to change their lives. And so if I add these 5 elements to story selling sprints and I sell it, it's going to be more rounded. It's going to hit all 5 core motivations and all 5 core needs than if I just sell it like, hey, if you want to make money, just go sign for story selling sprints. So I want you to take this and I want you to use this in your own program. And I want you to look at your sales pages, look at your emails and just ask yourself, which motivations am I touching? Which needs am I satisfying? And how can I make it more encompassing? And for example, if you notice that people are signing up for your stuff and after 30 days, they're not continuing their payments or they're saying they don't get results, it's very possible that maybe all your content is triggered to people who are in survival mode and they don't have time to do a 12-month program if they don't get the money back in the first month. So maybe you want to tweak it and start talking to more people in safety. But the question is, you have to know the 5 different needs, and then you have to look at your stuff and then you want to compare. What needs do I want to attract? What needs do I need to put into what I'm selling to make sure what I'm selling is more robust and more fanciful and more than ever, something that people actually want to buy. So let me know if you have any questions. I'm happy to answer them and I'm happy to do a video for you. So if there's something you want to ask me and you think like I should do a video for you, just put it in the comments and the next time I'm shooting videos, I will do one specially for you. Have a fantastic day. Before I go, I will not leave you without selling story selling sprints. Our next cohort of story selling sprints is starting soon. It's 30 days. And I'm literally going to be giving you all the skills, the tools, and the practice you need to actually become a master at storytelling. And not just a master at storytelling that actually gets sales. Okay, so go sign up. The link is somewhere. Talk to you soon, yo.